Hello. Welcome to Two Dorks Read The Phantom of Manhattan by Frederick Forsyth, in which Natalie and Michael, two Phantom fans on a mission, subject themselves to the book that served as the launchpad for Love Never Dies, Andrew Lloyd Webber's controversial sequel to Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera. Our story begins.
I say, Natalie. What has four legs and one arm?
I don't rightly know.
An attack dog in a nursery school.
Ah! Nice. Some
You gotta have some
opening up
dark
strong
humor.
on the jokes.
Yeah, we gotta have a little bit.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's the way it works.
Yup. Alrighty.
So I think you should be the first one to read this time.
Yeah. So I'm
Because
not sure.
What?
I'm not actually sure if our previous format of alternating is going to be quite the same because you said that you wanted to do it by gender. I think this entire chapter is just Madame Giry rambling to herself.
Yeah, but I said but I also said like, only when it's like speaking, like when there's actual dialogue.
Oh, okay. In that case, then, yeah, we're all set to go.
Otherwise, we do like page by page.
All right. So, the preface is kind of lost to time.
We can redo that.
We're not going to read the entire preface again. No.
You know you want to.
No. I think it just what needs to be said is basically what I put in the little blurb, like to advertise this at the start, which is when last we left Frederick Forsyth, he was writing a kick-ass history report and a god-awful classic lit essay at the same time, all while building up the waifu of his dreams, Madame Giry. But now the story can begin.
Yes.
Yes. So this is
comments on this if you want it to be. And I will actually remind people of this. If you want us to do the preface again, comment.
I guess we could again, but oh geez. All right.
It depends on how many that comment, of course.
Yeah.
If one person is like, yay, please do it, that no.
I don't know, maybe look. If our viewership is 2 people and one person does it, that's technically 50% of our audience. We will do it for you.
That is true. And I mean, we do have a lot of comments on it, so it's all...
Oh yeah. We got to give the people what they want, even if it's more preface.
Yes. Preface for days.
Yes. Alrighty.
Anyways, you start off because me reading that I, Antoinette Giry, in my male voice is kind of weird.
I, Antoinette Giry, he said menacingly.
Yes.
All right. So anyway, here's another point in my waifu theory. Antoinette Giry. Just give her the name of like the queen of one of the fallen queens of France. You know, like whatever. It's fine. Like Justine, not good enough. You know. She is Antoinette, damn it. She is royalty. She is Frederick's queen. And he stands her.
You want to know what would be fucking hilarious?
What?
If it turns out that Frederick Forsyth is a freaking necrophile, and the reason he chose Antoinette is because, she kind of lost the top part of her body, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I don't know if that quite relates to what Madame Giry's up to. Is there?
Oh no. Okay. No. I'm just saying like that. He named her like that because his true waifu just doesn't have a head anymore.
Oh, okay. He just needs the head. So what's a perfect woman?
Basically, he's ahead of her.
Oh, but so you're saying that the perfect woman for Frederick Forsyth is Marie Antoinette's body, Madame Giry's head.
Yeah, and he'll use the head in bed, and he'll have the body.
Oh God!
Yeah.
I haven't actually marked this for mature content, so I don't want to like quite get into deep lewds if we can
avoid... no. I'm just saying in bed.
Just in bed. Like,
yeah,
sleep next to her, like, with the head is a soccer ball. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Basically, think of it like this.
Oh,
he
no.
puts the head on the freaking pillow next to him, so he can stroke it and be like, oh.
Look, I promise there's phantom material in this.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring... Okay.
I'm just deeply fucking weird. But
it's
yeah.
Fine.
Okay.
I think we have to go there. This is a weird book, and I think you are probably more prepped than most to be to immerse yourself in this. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you start off then.
All right. So we have Chapter 1, The Confession of Antoinette Giry, at the Hospice of the Sisters of Charity of the Order of Saint-Vincent de Paul, Paris, September 1906. Or Septembre 1906. I'm too lazy to get the years, but you guys who know French, you've got this. All right. There is a crack in the plaster of the ceiling far above my head, and close to it is a spider. No, close to it, a spider is creating a web. Strange to think this spider will outlive me, be here when I am gone, a few hours from now. Good luck, little spider, making a web to catch a fly to feed your babies. How did it come to this? That I, Antoinette Giry, at the age of 58... Oh, it's a LaRue reference. She's dying at, like, the age LaRue died, pretty much. Okay. Am lying on my back in a hospice for the people of Paris, run by the good sisters waiting to meet my maker. I do not think I have been a very good person, not like these good sisters who clean up the endless mess, bound by their oath of poverty, chastity, humility, and obedience. I could never have managed that. They have faith, you see. I was never able to have that faith. Is it time that I learned it now? Probably. For I shall be gone before the night sky fills that small high window over there at the edge of my vision. So you've said that this is like as long as the preface, so I think she's got longer than she thinks.
Basically.
Okay. But calm down, Antoinette. You've got this. I am here, I suppose, because I simply ran out of money. Well, almost. There is a little bag under my pillow which no one knows about. But that is for a special purpose. 40 years ago, I was a ballerina, so slim and young and beautiful then. So they told me, the young men who came to the stage door. And handsome they were, too, said Yoda. Those clean, sweet-smelling, hard young bodies that could give and take so much pleasure. Maybe I should have marked this as a mature stream. We're getting lewd. We're getting bodicey. All right. And the most beautiful was Lucien. All the chorus called him Lucien le Bel, with a face to make a girl's heart hammer like a tambour. He took me out one sunny Sunday to the Bois de Boulogne and proposed on one knee, as it should be done, and I accepted him. 1 year later, he was killed by the Prussian guns at Sedan. Then I wanted no more of marriage for a long time. Nearly 5 years while I danced at the ballet.
Well, I'm actually freaking surprised that one dude wasn't fucking named Frederick or something.
Well, we don't know. We don't know.
Frederick LaBelle.
Maybe he's just like saving himself for later. We don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we've got a whole preface length of first chapter here. He's got to get in somewhere, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. So, I was 28 when it ended, the dancing career. For one thing, I had met Jules and we married, and I became heavy with little Meg. More to the point, I was losing my litheness, like
litheness. Grace, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should explain to people over here that I am not a native English speaker.
Yes, this is true.
I am from a completely different sort of country altogether. Anyways.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Should I name the country, or is that far too close for comfort?
Let's not. I mean, there are people who will know where I'm from, and that is fine. But please don't seek me out.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, basically.
We won't.
Senior dancer of the corps. fighting every day to stay slim and supple. Okay, so basically she dances for the Marine Corps.
It's a corps de ballet.
Yeah, I know. I'm making a joke.
You're right. You're right. And in the preface, Forsyth did say she was a martinet, which is kind of a, to my understanding, a type of kind of militaristic person.
Yeah.
So we're
it's
there.
Fine. But the director, depending on where from, was very good to me. A kind man. The mistress of the chorus was retiring, he said. I had the experience, and he did not wish to look outside the opera for her successor. He appointed me maîtresse du corps de ballet. As soon as Meg was born and put with a wet nurse, I took up my duties. It was 1876, 1 year after the opening of Garnier's new magnificent opera house. At last we were out of those cramped shoe boxes in the Rue Le Pelletier. The war was well over, the damage to my beloved Paris repaired, and life was good. I did not even mind when Jules met his fat Belgian and ran off to the Ardennes. Good riddance. At least I had a job. Or if I should do that like really, really like weird. At least I had a job.
Look, she's dying. Who even knows where she's at?
Everywhere. It's a long dying session though.
No, but she has a job. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, which was more than he could ever say. Enough to keep my small apartment, raise Meg, and nightly watch my girls delighting every crowned head in Europe. I wonder what happened to Jules. It's too late to start inquiring now. And Meg, a ballet dancer and chorus girl like her, mama. I could at least do that for her. Until the awful fall 10 years ago, which left her right knee stiff forever. Even then she was lucky with a bit of help from me. Dresser and personal maid to the greatest diva in Europe, Christine de Chagny. Well, if you discount that account, that uncouth Australian Melba, which I do, I wonder where Meg is now. Milan? Rome? Madrid, perhaps? Where the diva is singing? And to think I once used to shout at the Vicomte de Chagny to pay attention and stay in line. So what am I doing here? Waiting for a too early grave? Well, there was retirement 8 years ago. On my 50th birthday. They were very nice about it, the usual platitudes, and a generous bonus for my 22 years as mistress. Enough to live on, plus a little private coaching for the incredibly clumsy daughter of the rich. Daughters of the rich. Not much but enough, and a little put by. Until last spring. That was when the pains began. Not many at first, but sharp and sudden, deep in the lower stomach. Oh, sounds like mine. They gave me bismuth for indigestion, and charged a small fortune. I did not know then that the steel crab was in me.
What?
Steel? I'm not sure I read that right.
No, it says steel crab. I'm gonna just. Is there a? It's got to be a reference to something, right?
Yeah.
Steel crab.
Steel crab. I mean, I could think cancer.
The steel crab. Let's see. There's pictures of metal crabs.
No, but I think that that's like the crawfish. That's like cancer, I think.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I've never heard of that. Maybe it's just something that other people know of who are not me.
I don't know. Steel crab. For me, this just turned science fiction, so she has to explain. Let's see. Steel crab.
So she's got an infestation. Don't worry.
Yes. Zargrosh. Driving his great claws into it. What the hell?
You see, like I was trying to see if there's some kind of medical the blah blah blah, also known as the steel crab, is a
But this actually really sounds like she has an actual steel crab living inside of her.
The last days of the blue blood harvest, no.
I, uh,
How the
and always growing as he fed, not until July. Then it was too late, so I lie here, trying not to scream with the pain, waiting for the next spoonful of the white goddess, to the powder that comes from the poppies of the east. Oh,
okay, so she's got the
you have heroin.
why not?
Well, yeah, everything good. Not long to wait now for the final sleep. I am not even afraid anymore. Perhaps he will be merciful. I hope so, but surely he will take away the pain. I try to concentrate on something else. I look back and think of all the girls I trained, and my pretty young Meg with her stiff knee waiting to find her man. I hope she finds a good one. And of course, I think of my boys, my two lovely tragic boys. I think
I,
of them most of all.
I wonder if Madame Giry knows that Meg is actually a baroness.
I am not 100% sure she does because she's laying dying.
Yeah. I mean, Meg probably should have written her about that, or maybe she did, but I don't know. Like I've heard a little bit of I don't know, discussion of the more disgruntled nature, annoyed that Meg has been demoted thusly, like this.
Oh, yes.
All right,
Anyway, anyways, it's your turn.
Madame. Oh wait, okay. I think I'm just all right. Okay, Madame, Monsieur l'Abbe is here. Thank you, sister. I cannot see too well. Where is he?
I am here, my child. Father Sebastian, by your side. Do you feel my hand on your arm?
Yes, father.
You should make your peace with God, ma fille. I'm ready to take your confession.
It is time. Forgive me, father, for I have sinned.
Tell me, my child, keep nothing back.
All right. There was a time long ago in the year 1882 when I did something that changed many lives. I did not know when that would happen. I acted on impulse and for motives I thought to be good. Let's see. Yeah, I thought. Sorry about that. I just wanted to check something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was 34, the mistress of the corps de ballet at the Paris Opera. I was married, but my husband had deserted me and run off with another woman.
You must forgive them, my child. Forgiveness is a part of penitence.
Oh, I do, father. Long since, but I had a daughter, Meg, then 6 years old. There was a fair out at Neuilly, and I took her one Sunday. There were calliopes and carousels, steam engines, and performing monkeys who collected centimes for the hurdy-gurdy man. Meg had never seen a fun fair before, but there was also a show of freaks, a line of tents, with notices advertising the world's strongest man, the acrobat dwarves, a man so covered in tattoos that one could not see his skin, a black man, with a bone through his nose and pointed teeth, a lady with a beard. At the end of the line was a sort of cage on wheels, with bars spaced almost a foot apart, and filthy, reeking straw on the floor. It was bright in the sun, but dark in the cage, so I peered in to see what animal it contained. I heard the clank of chains and saw something lying huddled in the straw. Just then, a man came up. He was big and beefy, with a red, crude face. I don't know. He carried a tray on a sash round his neck. It contained lumps of horse manure collected from where the ponies were tethered, and pieces of rotten fruit. Have a go, lady, he said. See if you can pelt the monster. 1 centime a throw. Then he turned to the cage and shouted, Come on, come near the front, or you'll know what you'll get. The chains clanked again, and something more animal than human shuffled into the light, nearer to the bars. I could see that it was indeed human, though hardly so. A male in rags, crusted with filth, gnawing on an old piece of apple. Apparently, he had to live on what people threw over him. Ordure and feces. The British are ordure and faces. I've got to get through the British spelling. Yes, ordure and feces clung to his thin body. There were manacles on his wrists and ankles, and the steel had bitten into the flesh to leave open wounds where maggots writhed. Jeebus. But it was the face and head that caused Meg to burst into tears. Of course.
Yes.
The skull and face were hideously deformed, the former displaying only a few tufts of filthy hair. So it's safe to say that this is where the whole devil's child thing kind of comes from.
Yep.
Because, in the stage show, it's very kind of vague at what state the Phantom was in.
Yeah. Basically, she just says a man, and, she saw him, and that's all.
A man in a cage. It was almost, if you were just familiar with LaRue and then saw the stage show, you would just kind of think, clearly he's just a guy in a cage. Maybe he's doing some music and he's flashing his face around, kind of like the K version, but not quite like the K version. But he's generally well cared for. He's just a bit disgruntled about being in a cage. But nah, this apparently, this is more straight, Devil's Child 2004 stuff. All right. So now we have the face was distorted down one side as if struck long ago by a monstrous hammer, and the flesh of this visage was raw and shapeless like molten candle wax. The eyes were deep set in sockets, puckered and misshapen. Only half of the mouth and a section of jaw on one side had escaped the deformation and looked like a normal human face. Meg was holding a toffee apple. I do not know why, but I took it off her, walked to the bars and held it out. The beefy man went into a rage, screaming and shouting that I was depriving him of his living. I ignored him and pushed the toffee apple into the filthy hands behind the bars. And I looked into the eyes of this deformed monster. Father, 35 years ago, when the ballet was suspended during the Franco-Prussian War, I was among those who tended the young wounded coming back from the front. I have seen men in agony. I have heard them scream. But I have never seen pain like I saw in those eyes.
Pain is part of the human condition, my child. But what you did that day with the toffee apple was not a sin, but an act of compassion. I must hear your sins if I am to give absolution.
But I went back that night and I stole him.
You did what?
I went to the old shuttered opera house, took a heavy pair of bolt cutters from the carpentry shop and a large cowled cloak from the wardrobe, hired a hansom cab and returned to Neuilly. Or Newly. I'm not totally sure how to pronounce that. I'm guessing on the French whatever, but here we go. She knows how it was pronounced. The field of the fun fair was deserted in the moonlight. The performers were asleep in their caravans. There were curs who started to bark, but I threw them scraps of meat. I found the cage trailer, withdrew the iron bar that held it closed, opened the door, and called softly inside. The creature was chained to one wall. I cut the chains on his wrists and feet and urged him to come out. He seemed terrified, but when he saw me in the moonlight, he shuffled out and dropped to the ground. I covered him in the cloak, pulled the cowl over that dreadful head, and led him away to the coach. The driver grumbled at the awful smell, but I paid him extra, and he drove us back to my flat behind the Rue Le Pelletier. Was taking him away a sin?
Certainly it was an offense in law, my child. He belonged to the fair owner. Brutal though the man may have been, as to an offense before God, I do not know. I think not.
There is more, Father. Have you the time?
You are facing eternity. I think I can spare a few minutes. But recall, there may be others dying here who will also need me.
It does not need to be as long as the preface, my child.
Yeah, basically.
I hid him in my small flat for a month, Father. He took a bath, the first in his life. Okay.
Someone else dead.
I thought... Wait, this is still incorrect, though, because don't they kind of establish that he traveled the world and done stuff for Persia?
Yes.
Even in the stage show?
Yes, I think so because, well, I'm not sure actually, considering the whole Daroga thing.
Well, I know know the Persian, the Daroga. He's not brought up ever in the stage show. But I'm saying, I thought that she said stuff like, he built stuff for the Shah of Persia, they said once. And they just kind of forgot that.
I don't think so.
I'm just going to check super, super, super quick.
Wait, I have the script on my phone. Don't
worry. Pull up that baby.
Just, let's see here. There I have it. It's just going to be loading a little bit. Let's see here. Load, damn you. Okay, it's loaded. Let's see. Where is this? Sauces install.
Yeah. I've got a lyric page pulled up. And there he was, I shall never forget him, a man locked in a cage. In a cage? A prodigy, monsieur! Scholar, architect, musician, a composer, and an inventor too, monsieur! They boasted he had once built for the Shah of Persia a maze of mirrors, and he never took a bath.
Well, honestly, though, since we're on this topic...
Yeah?
They boasted about it, but that doesn't mean it's true.
But if they were supposed to, I don't know. If you're gonna be like saying, "Hey, look at this freaky guy. He sure has done a lot of cool stuff." Why would they be like, degrading him in this manner, to quite this extent?
Yeah, it seems weird.
Yeah, it's like putting Albert Einstein in like some cage and making it all weird.
Yeah, it's like. I mean, I've read K, like that part of the movie.
Yeah, and K wasn't great, but once Eric kind of proved to them that he was wicked smart and could do a ton of stuff, they started making his act more elaborate.
Yeah, it's like when he said that he could make the flowers sing.
Yeah.
And when he got his own tent and he fucking cured people of the disease. Because all of a sudden he was a doctor as well.
Oh, well, yeah, It's K, don't worry about it.
It's K. I actually like Eric, K's Eric. He's really cool.
Yeah, he's cool. I haven't read that book in ages and ages, but I remember having a lot of fun with it as a kid.
Hey, maybe that's the next project, eh?
Oh, well, that'll be a much more serious one in nature, and we probably shouldn't be riffing on K so much, except perhaps maybe.
I'm not gonna rip on K. I've actually started reading it again, and honestly, as far as I've gotten into it, it's really, really good. And I'm just basically sad all over little Eric when he's a small kid child.
Yeah. I understand there's a bit of discrepancy nowadays as to whether or not the Persia sequence is as well written as people remember. Just because of the the use of Western exoticism in the treatment of how Eric is like, I hate this concept of slaves. You all are barbarians. That kind of thing.
Speaking of that,
yes,
there is another book I want to add to your repertoire.
Well, the one you're reading, right?
Yes, I am in love with it. It's called The Rosy Hours of Mazandaran.
Nice. Yeah, I've heard.
We should really read that because it goes in depth about what Eric does.
Okay. Yeah.
It goes in depth. Sorry for this dragging on, by the way, with our comments, but there is one thing I really need to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the torture chamber it has in the Book of LaRue?
Yes.
This book is basically, it shows the prototype for that. And it shows how frigging crazy both he and the Sultana is, or as her name actually is, Afsa, the Shahanshah, the Shazari. Oh, also there's a lot of I would say like where they try to rape in that, but it's getting taken care of pretty quickly.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yes, And the funny thing is, when she's doing all of these murders, she's like 12, 13 years old.
Mm.
I love
Murder
it.
buddies.
Murder buddies.
Murder pals in Persia.
Oh, yes. Anyway, she'll continue.
Okay. So, all right. There's more, but wait, there's more. Okay, Right, yeah. Don't take up the whole preface. All right.
Yeah.
I hid him in my small flat. Okay, he took a bath for the first time in his life. There we go. Then another, and then many more. I could not pull him out of the bathtub. I disinfected the open wounds and bandaged them so that they slowly healed. I gave him clothes from my husband's chest and food so that he recovered his health. He also, for the first time in his life, slept in a real bed with sheets. Is this a dig at Persian beds? I don't know. Let's find out. I moved Meg in with me, which was a good thing to do because she was terrified of him. I found that he was himself petrified with fear if anyone came to the door and would scuttle away to hide under the stairs. So he's like Harry Potter, sort of.
Ding, 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 ding.
Covered under the stairs for Eric. I also found that he could talk in French, but with an Alsatian accent. And slowly over that month, he told me his story. Oh, boy.
Oh, jeez. He's German.
Sec. He's German. Well, he's Alsatian. It's like somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah, I know where Alsace is, but
yeah. Okay. He was born, here we go, Eric Mulheim, just 40 years ago, in Alsace, which was then France, but soon to be annexed by Germany. He was the only son of a circus family living in a caravan, constantly moving from town to town. He told me that he had learned in early childhood the circumstances of his birth. The midwife had screamed when she saw the tiny child emerging into the world, for he was even then horribly disfigured. She handed the squealing bundle to the mother and ran away, yelling, "Foolish cow," that she had delivered the devil himself.
Wait. Traveling circus family. I thought his dad was supposed to be a master mason.
That's in K. I thought LaRue was even more vague about it.
Yeah, I thought I read it like in LaRue that he was a master craftsman or something.
Maybe? All I remember from the LaRue thing was he was born in a small village in Rouen, which is sort of in northern France near Alsace, I think, but I'm not totally sure.
No. Alsace is basically on the border to Germany.
So, no, it's not there then.
Yeah, no, it's like below Belgium and kind of above Luxembourg, exactly.
Okay. I'm just Americaning out over here real bad. My French geography is not fantastic.
Yeah, it's fine, but it's like basically it's Alsace is to the basically as east as you come in France. It's like on the very eastern part. There's Alsace and Lorraine. Yeah,
that's I've heard of that.
Yeah, and there's even like cities named Strasbourg and stuff like that. So I mean, it's very, very German French. Rouen is to the north, kind of like close to Normandy. So it's really far off.
Okay. Well, that's where he's from. Don't question it anymore. This is, I guess, what we know about the Weber Phantom.
Okay, so basically, they went in their caravans, all right?
Yep. Eric was born to a circus family living in a caravan, moving from town to town. All right. So
I should take over, right?
No. I don't know. I think this is still her. It's just her now. So poor Eric arrived, destined from birth to be hated and rejected by people who believe that ugliness is the outward show of sinfulness. His father was the circus carpenter, engineer, and handyman. It was watching him at work that Eric first developed his talent for anything that could be constructed with tools and hands. It was in the sideshows that he saw the techniques of illusion with mirrors, trapdoors, and secret passages that would later play such a part in his life in Paris. But his father was a drunken brute who whipped the boy constantly for the most minor offenses or none at all. That's terrible, but also a ridiculous mental image.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know. Just like, hey, Eric. Yeah, Dad? Like, it's awful, but it's also just it's almost parodic at how dramatic that is.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, Dad, how was work?
Wanna throw the old pigskin around?
So he'll just, instead of throwing the ball, he basically just hits it with the belt.
Dad, no! Like it's terrible. It's terrible.
Dad,
it's
yes.
sad. It's just I'm mostly hammering on this point just because I'm kind of critiquing at the level of dramatic, of drama that this is at. All right, his mother, a useless besom. Okay, who just sat in a corner and wailed. I'm just gonna, just for everyone's education, for my own education, what is a besom? A besom? A besom.
A besom.
A broom made of twigs tied around a stick. Let's find another. Okay, a woman or girl. There we go. Wait. So just
that's a very strange way of saying woman, though. It's either a broom or a woman.
Well, no wonder why he was deformed. You can't breed with a broom.
Do you take this broom to be your awful wedded wife?
No wonder the poor broom is crying. No, so apparently it's supposed to be like, it's derogatory and also Scottish. So it's a word that people use. I'm sure maybe in Scotland maybe people throw the word around a bit more. But
you heard that, you Scottish lads? Let's try that.
You got your hens, you got your birds, you got your besoms.
Yeah. Jesus, the people from Scotland are gonna hate us.
Yep. Sorry. I am so sorry. All right. Okay, so right. Okay. Sat in the corner and wailed. Spending most of his young life in pain and tears, he tried to avoid the caravan and slept in the straw with the circus animals, and especially the horses. He was 7, sleeping in the stables when the big top caught fire. The fire ruined the circus, which went bankrupt. The staff and the artistes scattered to join other enterprises. Eric's father, without a job, drank himself to death. His mother ran away to become a skivvy in nearby Strasbourg.
Hey, I knew it.
Hey. Running out of money for booze, his father sold him to the master of a passing freak show. He spent 9 years in the wheeled cage, daily pelted with filth and ordure from the amusement of cruel crowds. He was 16 when I found him.
A pitiable tale, my child. But what has this to do with your mortal sins?
Good question, Father. She's going on quite a long time.
I have a flock to attend. They're dying around me. See?
We just lost. She's going to hell now. Thank you. This is all your fault.
Basically.
Patience, Father. Hear me out. You'll understand. For no creature on this planet has ever heard the truth before. I kept Eric in my apartment for a month, but it could not go on. There were neighbors, callers at our door. One night I took him to my place of work, the opera, and he had found his new home. Here he had a sanctuary at last, a place to hide where the world would never find him.
I was about to.
Well, despite his tower of naked flame,
he has a terror of that?
He's got a lot of candles, fam. I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
He took a torch and went down into the lowest cellars where the darkness would hide his terrible face. With timber and tools from the carpenter's shop, he built his home by the lake's edge. In the dark. I don't know. Because he hates flame. He furnished it with pieces.
Well, he took the torch.
Okay. That's it.
It's an everlasting torch.
That's it. Don't worry about it. He furnished it with pieces from the props department, especially all of the candelabras. They're gone. Fabric from the wardrobe mistress. In the wee small hours when all was abandoned, he could raid the staff canteen for food and even pilfer the director's pantry for delicacies. and he read. He made a key to the opera library and spent years giving himself the education he never had. I gotta tell you, the opera library is probably just a lot of books about operas. Night After Night by Candle. So there's no Persia in this story. Don't worry about it. So, wait, okay, so he's 16. And the scene after Masquerade describes that he had once built stuff for the Shah of Persia, and yet he's like this 15-year-old boy living in filth. And it's fine.
Well,
why not?
Why not, exactly?
I mean, I guess, lies about traveling attractions aren't exactly, that's not really stretching it. It's just, I don't know, I find it odd.
Yeah, I understand.
All right, so he's got the food, he's got his opera library, so now he's got, like, Marriage of Figaro memorized. But that's really about it. It's the opera library. They're not going to have, like, science books and stuff going.
Well.
Yeah, okay. Of course, most of the works were of music and opera. There we go.
Wait. Just one thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the opera built by Charles Populaire...
We don't know. They haven't dropped the opera populaire yet. She tried to say the Garnier, right? She did try to say this is Garnier.
Okay.
We're not living in Poplaire's world. We'll have to talk about Poplaire's world later.
Oh, God. we have to bring up Populaire at some point.
Yeah, Charles Populaire was a madman and a genius. Okay. So, of course, most of the works were of music and opera. He came to know every single opera ever written and every note of every aria. With his manual skills, all of them, each note. With his manual skills, he created a maze of secret passages known only to himself. All right, so we're there. And having practiced long ago with the tightrope walkers, he could run along the highest and narrowest gantries without fear. New word for me, but I'm sure it's just some architectural structure or something.
Yeah.
For 11...
Probably just like an edge or something.
Yeah, something like that. Look, nook, cranny, gantry. For 11 years, he lived there and became a man underground. But of course, before long, rumors started and grew. Food, clothing, candles, tools went missing in the night. A credulous staff began to talk of a phantom in the cellars until finally every tiny accident, and backstage many tasks are dangerous, came to be blamed on the mysterious phantom. Thus the legend began.
Oh, yes. Let's see here. It just needs to switch so I can see.
No, it's fine.
Oh.
Mon Dieu, but I have heard of this. 10 years. No, it must be more. Baguettes. I was summoned to give the last rites to some poor wretch who was found hanged. Someone told me that the phantom had done it.
The man's name was Bouquet, Father. But it was not Eric. Of course not. Joseph Bouquet was given to periods of great depression and certainly took his own life. She lied. At first, I welcomed the rumors, for I thought they would keep my poor boy, for thus I thought of him, safe in his small kingdom in the darkness below the opera, where he was afraid of all the candles he set up, and perhaps they would have done until that dreadful autumn of '93. He did something very foolish, Father. He fell in love. Then she was called Christine Daae. You probably know her today as Madame la Vicomtesse de Chagny.
But this is impossible. Not...
Yes! The same one! Then a chorus girl in my charge. Not much of a dancer, but a clear, pure voice, but untrained. Eric had listened night after night to the greatest voices in the world. Including Carlotta, yes.
Yes, of course.
Studied the texts. He knew how she should be coached. When he had finished, she took over the leading role one night and by morning she had become a star. My poor ugly outcast Eric thought she might love him in return, but of course it was impossible, for she had her own young love. Driven by despair, Eric abducted her one night from the very center of the stage in the middle of his own opera, Don Juan Triumphant.
But all Paris heard of the scandal. Even a humble priest like me. A man was killed.
Yes, Father, the tenor Piangi. Eric did not mean to kill him, just to keep him quiet. Fuck Eric, man. Look, I've got stances about Piangi's death.
Oh, yes, same.
My very first post on Tumblr was just the ultimate tragedy of Carlotta and Piangi. In the Weber story, they did nothing. Piangi was just doing his job.
Yeah, I know, right?
But the Italian choked and died. Of course, it was the end. By chance, the commissioner of police was in the audience that night. Not by chance.
By chance.
The Vicomte ordered all of the police guys in there. Are the doors secure?
The doors secure.
He summoned 100 gendarmes. They took blazing torches and with a mob of vengeance seekers descended into the cellars right to the level of the lake itself. Look, if Forsyth was such a big die-hard-ass fan of the show and a good friend of Weber, he would know that was not a coinkydink. What she should have said was, actually, everyone was quite freaked out by my poor boy. And so they said no more. And they called the police to be at this opera that he had written. And he was coercing everyone into writing, into performing for him. And they weren't doing it right. So really, who's to blame here? He wrote so many notes, and they weren't getting it right.
Far too many notes for his tastes?
Exactly. Far too many notes. He was so afraid of the candles he had to write by. My poor boy.
Are we taking this far enough? I'm not sure we are.
Look, I read this book before once, many, many, many years ago, and I forgot the details, and I must have forgotten the whole he was afraid of the candles thing. There's so many candles.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. He summoned 100 gendarmes. They took blazing torches, and with a mob of vengeance seekers, descended into the cellars, right to the level of the lake itself. They found the secret stairs, the passages, the house by the lake, and they found Christine, shocked and swooning. Is that what she was? I thought she was rowing away with Raoul.
Yeah. All right. About to say.
Yeah, she was with her suitor, the young Vicomte de Chagny, dear sweet Raoul. He took her away and comforted her as only a man can, with strong arms and gentle caresses.
Yeah, and I know what he can do that only a man can.
I'm sure the priest is like, that's great, but I don't care about this.
Yes.
As only a man can, Madame, get to the point. 2 months later, she was found with child. So he married her, gave her his name, his title, his love, and the necessary wedding band. No? Well, sort of, but no, it was a secret engagement. You remember the bit? Like, they were married, they were engaged properly about, ages before.
Yeah, like frigging Masquerade.
Yeah. The son was born in the summer of 94, and they have brought him up together. And she went on these past 12 years to become the greatest diva in all Europe.
Let's see, diva in all Europe. There
it's a new page, yeah.
Yes, I just saw.
But they never found Eric, my child. No trace of the Phantom, I seem to recall.
No Phantom. No Phantom. They never found him, but
Yeah,
found...
no Phantom.
No Phantom. They never found the Phantom. No
Phantom.
Father. They
Yes,
never
Phantom.
found him. But I did. I returned desolate to my small office behind the chorus room. When I drew aside the curtain of my wardrobe niche, there he was, the mask he always wore. Even alone, clutched in his hand. He left the mask!
Yes.
He left the mask on his chair!
Yes.
But okay, crouching in the dark as maybe he had a spare. He probably just had a spare. Every clean boy should have spare masks, otherwise it's just very unhygienic.
Yeah, I have so many masks.
Exactly, you've got so many masks and we're just hobbyists. Like...
Yeah. I mean, just about this dude.
Yeah. So this is his lifestyle. He's got extra masks. I'll let Freddie slide here. Okay. So he's there, he's got his mask in his hand, crouching in the dark as he used to beneath the stairs at my apartment 11 years ago before. He's the best squatter in the world.
Oh, yeah.
He's great at doing squats.
And of course you told the police.
No, Father, I did not. Those squats are criminal. He was still my boy. One of my 2 boys. I could not hand him over to the mob again. So I took a woman's hat and a heavy veil, a long cloak, and I guess we had their first drag queen, okay? We walked side by side down the staff staircase and out into the street. Just 2 women fleeing into the night. There were hundreds of others. No one took any notice. I kept him for 3 months at my apartment half a mile away. But the wanted notices were everywhere. And a price on his head. He had to leave France entirely.
You have to escape, my child. That was a crime and a sin.
End the chapter. She's damned. That's it.
Yeah.
Then I will pay for it, Father. Soon now. The winter was bitter, hard, and cold. Excuse me, I must cough. Excuse me. To take a train was out of the question. I hired a diligence. Okay. 4 horses and a closed carriage to Le Havre. There I left him hidden in cheap lodgings while I scoured the docks and their seedy bars. Finally, I found a sea captain, master of a small freighter bound for New York, and one to take a bribe and ask no questions. There I left him hidden in cheap lodgings while I scoured the docks and their seedy bars. Finally, I found a sea captain, master of a small freighter bound for New York, and one to take a bribe and ask no questions. So one night in mid-January 1894, I stood on the edge of the longest quay and watched the stern lights of the tramp steamer disappear into the darkness, bound for the New World. Tell me, Father, is there someone else with us? I cannot see, but I feel someone here.
Indeed, there is a man who just entered.
I am a man de force, madame. A novice came to my chambers and said that I was needed here.
Are you a notary and commissioner for oaths?
Indeed I am, madam.
Uh-huh.
Ha-ha.
Monsieur Dufour, I wish you to reach beneath my pillow. I would do so myself, but I am become too weak. Thank you. What do you find?
Why, a letter of some sort, enclosed in a fine manila envelope, and a small bag of chamois leather.
My, you do talk like a person and not like an author trying to describe things.
Exactly.
I'm going to look at my mid-range gaming laptop with red letters right now and type down some things I say. You know. All right. Precisely. I wish you to take a pen and ink and sign across the sealed flap that this letter has been delivered into your charge this day and has not been opened by you or anyone else.
My child, I beg you hurry. We have not finished our business.
Oh, we're still in the middle of the chapter, of course. I'm sorry, we're lost. All right, patience, Father. I know my time is short, not so short, but after so many years of silence, I must now struggle to complete the course. Are you done, Monsieur le Notaire?
It has been written just as you requested, madame.
And on the front of the envelope?
I see, written in what must surely be your own hand, the words, Monsieur Eric Mulheim, New York City.
That's the address we need. That's it. Don't worry, it'll
Yes.
get there. It'll get there. And the small
Yeah.
leather bag.
I have it in my hand.
Nom de Jean!
No, no,
Oh, no.
you.
Shoot. Oh, yeah. Open it, if you please. Now express your...
Jean, gold Napoleons. I have not seen these since.
But they are still valid tender?
Certainly, and most valuable.
Don't mess with it then, dude. Then I wish you to take them all and the letter and take it to New York City and deliver it personally.
Personally, in New York, but madame, I do not usually.
Oh, God, you might have to keep this voice.
I have never been.
Please, Monsieur le Notaire. There is enough
What?
gold for 5 weeks away from the office?
Why should I keep this voice?
He's going to New York. Guess where this story takes place?
Yeah. Oh, so this voice is a New York voice?
No. I'm saying you might need to reprise that voice. You might need to commit Monsieur Armand Dufour in the man who talks like this to that.
That is absolutely fine.
Oh, fabulous.
More than enough, but...
My child, you cannot know this man is still alive.
Oh, he will have survived, Father. He will always survive.
But I have no address for him. Where to find him?
Ask Monsieur Dufour. Search
Oh, yeah.
I have no address for him. Where to find him?
Ask Monsieur Dufour. Search the immigration records. The name is rare enough. He will be there somewhere. A man who wears a mask to hide his face.
I don't know if this is Monsieur Dufour, but I'm gonna go with it.
Who cares? She doesn't know who's talking anyway.
Very well, madame. I will try. I will go there and I will try. But I cannot guarantee success.
Thank you. Tell me, Father, has one of these sisters administered to me a spoonful of tincture of a white powder?
Not in the hour that I have been here, my feel. Why?
Hour?
Oh, well, I think that's us too, about. It's fine. This is real time. Here in real time.
Holy shit. Yeah. What was the whole thing with I have a few minutes?
I've got a few minutes. Please don't take so long.
Yeah.
It is strange, but the pain has gone. Such beautiful, sweet relief. I cannot see to either side, but I can sort of see a tunnel and an arch. My body was in such pain, but now it hurts no more. It was so cold, but now there is warmth everywhere.
It's you again.
No, I'm dying.
Yes, but look below the next line. It says,
there's another guy in the room. There's another guy in the room, Monsieur Dufour.
Yeah, but first it's
Why would she say she is leaving us?
No, I'm not saying it's madame. I think it's one of the sisters.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. You're right. Oh, you're right. Okay. Do not delay, Monsieur l'Abbé. She is leaving us.
Thank you, sister. I hope I may know my duty.
I am walking towards the arch. There is a light at the end. Such sweet light. Oh, Lucien, are you there? I am coming, my love.
In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Hurry, Father.
Ego te absolvo et omnibus peccatis tuis.
I don't know who said. I don't know. Maybe
Ego
it's
te
her?
absolvo, basically. Yeah. No. That is the
I just don't know who's saying it. I just don't know who's saying it. No, I know he's saying that. I don't know if it's his. I don't know if she said thank you because she's dying and that's it, or if.
Yeah, I think it's his sister.
All right, thank you, Father. Sorry, I blew that. I don't even know. There's no. Why does Forsyth have this voices in a void thing?
I don't know.
This entire page, right? It's just quotes. It's just people talking, and there's no description of any sort. And maybe it's a style, but I gotta tell you, it's vaguely confusing.
Yeah, it's weird, but could be worse.
I suppose it could. And that's us.
Oh, okay.
That's it. The chant of Eric Molheim. I think we'll leave it there. I seem to recall that perhaps he's maybe not. At some point, there's Eric is he's a religious man. I'll leave it at that. I'm not gonna go into details, but we're just gonna say he's a religious man. He's a man who believes in things and stuff.
In things and stuff.
Beyond himself. He's got beliefs, he's got hopes, he's got dreams. He believes in a higher-ish, maybe he believes in a power. We'll leave it at that. He believes in a power.
Should we really leave it there or should we continue?
Personally, I think I'm kind of good, but I'm not sure how long this is. This might be...
Well, I do know that this was one of the longer chapters.
Oh, Madame Giry's chapter?
Yeah, I actually took the precaution to look beforehand.
Oh, okay, okay.
I did not want another incident of preface.
Another preface.
Oh, since we have two people with us watching, hello, you two.
Hey.
What do you want us to continue, or should we leave it at this? We'll let you decide. I'm free and everything is fine.
Yeah, I'd be happy to keep going too if someone else wanted to.
Yeah.
But
we're just gonna make fun of Madame Giry anyway. So
well, no, she's dead. We can't make fun of her anymore. She's
gone. Believe me, I could kick a dead horse.
Well, we all we know is that Eric is alone in New York and he's afraid of fire, and it's a real problem.
And suddenly all the candelabras of New York has disappeared.
Because I don't know. He's got this, I don't know. Look, people, they're in New York and they've got lives to figure out. And
yeah. Yes, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's I can still make fun of Madame Giry because it's me. I'm an asshole.
Well, I'm gonna say that I think just because I don't know, for some reason I think the sabotaging ramen that I had for lunch is kind of coming. It's coming to get me just in terms of like my coughing for some reason. So I think we might just want to leave it here and call it for next week.
All right, that sounds good. Next week, by the way. Yeah, I need to tell you about that as well. But yeah, we'll leave it at this then. And...
Okay. All right. So thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you all next week. All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
See y'all.